And we're all locked on and ready to go. Welcome to techPLUS for another week. It is time to discuss this week's biggest tech stories in South Africa and the world. I'm joined, as always, by Kaine. Kaine, how's it going, man?
I'm very well, thank you.
How was your week?
Ooh, good week.
Good week.
You know what was interesting? I went to... I decided to buy some tech this week.
What did you buy?
I bought something to trim my beard.
Oh, I thought it was an electric car or something.
No, imagine that. And I bought it, and I went to Clicks, and I got myself one. And upon opening it, I realized that it was used. It had someone else's hair in it.
No,
I joke not.
That is disgusting.
But I think
did you take a photo and post it all over Facebook?
No.
But
I opened it up. And I took out the manual, and I saw there was some handwriting in it.
What?
And I was like, that's weird. And then I was like, oh no, what if this was used? And
what did the handwriting say?
It just had like they'd reference the length of the trim, and they put like a number 2. You know, when you go for a haircut. So
somebody used it, brought it back, and they didn't even check it. Just put it back on the shelf.
Straight back on the shelf.
Oh, that's not acceptable. Actually, hey, you should complain. You should get that thing for free now.
I went back there. They very quickly replaced it with a new one.
That's not very nice. Hey?
But speaking of tech developments, right? We heard about Elon Musk trying to buy Twitter and then kind of putting the brakes on it and saying, I think there's some bots here.
He's not interested anymore.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
He seems like it looks like something put him off now.
Well, do you want to know what Twitter has decided to do in order to settle this Elon Musk issue?
Destroy all bots.
No, they've decided to give Elon Musk what they call fire hose data access.
What would that be? To
settle the bot accounts. So really what that means is the Tesla CEO may get access to Twitter's most valuable data source. And they're preparing to grant Elon Musk this access to the platform data in an effort to address his concerns about automation. Citing a person familiar with the company's thinking, the report says Twitter is preparing to give Musk an access to the so-called Firehose API that contains every tweet as it is posted. So what it is so Tesla's latest offer to simply provide additional details regarding the company's own testing methodologies is tantamount to refusing Mr. Musk's data request. Musk representatives said in the filing, at this point, Mr. Musk believes Twitter is transparently refusing to comply with its obligations under the merger agreement. But the Firehose data basically gives you real-time access and shows what a user would see if they followed every account on Twitter. Although the sheer volume of data is kind of impossible to obtain or pass without some kind of, coded automation, nonetheless, it is one of the company's most closely held resources, in part because of its value for ad targeting and platform surveillance. Multiple companies and organizations have had access to the feed in real time, including MIT researchers and Google many years ago, and since then, only Twitter has maintained this firehose data, which really means every single tweet that ever happens at any given time is on that data. And that's the data they're going to look at to see how many bots there are. But knowing Musk, if he finds bots, like a larger percentage than what is specified, he will tell the public 100%.
Yeah.
So
you already spoke about YouTube this week and all the scam ads on it.
Yeah.
Especially crypto.
Yeah.
He said, and it's very true, and I agree with him. He said that why are they so strict on swear words and sensitive content when they just easily approve these crypto ads, these scam ads.
And some of those ads have used Elon Musk's identity, right? Like Elon Musk is joining crypto, send this amount of money to this address and you'll receive double back.
Oh, wow.
It's Eon.
Do you think people fell? It's Eon, yeah. Listen, very interesting. You know that you get technology to measure the air quality, okay?
Yes. In Japan and those kind of places, that's right. A lot of individuals actually have that.
That's right. But did you know that last night they did one of those measurements? I think it's called an AQI measurement.
Oh no!
And Johannesburg was number 3 on the list of the worst air quality
in the world.
In the world, man.
In the world.
Because remember, they've got this problem right now with the sulfur and all that kind of stuff. There's this sulfur buildup in the air. So this whole place is just it looks like it's under smoke. and people say it smells like rotten eggs.
Oh no.
So can you imagine how bad the air quality is in Joburg right now? If you are in Joburg, let us know if you're all right. Are you on oxygen? How are you breathing?
Yeah.
let us know. I mean, imagine you have asthma or something. How would you, I mean, that quality of air, you wouldn't want to go outside.
I'd be really interested to see what some of the places that like mask wearing is normal, you know, even before pandemic times, where they rank on that list. Because if Joburg is number 3 and somewhere like, you know, Japan is number 7, then it should be pretty important to equip some sort of air filtration, you know, methodology.
You want to know the top 10?
Yes.
Okay, that was measured last night. That's when South Africa, when Joburg actually went to number 3 on that list.
We're starting at number 10 or number 1?
Where do you want me to start?
Number 10.
Okay, let's start at 10. Okay, number 10 is Jakarta.
Okay.
Number 9 is Hangzhou.
Okay, that's Chinese.
Number 8 is Wuhan. I don't think we need any introduction there. No wonder. 7 is Kathmandu.
Okay.
6 is Dakar.
Okay.
5 is San Diego.
Oh my word, okay.
That's America.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that. Number 4 is Lahore. Is that how you say it? Lahore?
I don't know that place, no.
Okay, I also don't know it. Sounds interesting. Number 3, Johannesburg, South Africa. Number 2 is Kuwait. And number 1 is Delhi.
That's crazy.
So that was the measurement last night. But just to tell you how bad the quality is in South Africa, in Joburg, last night.
I
Right
would
now
love
they're
to get
all
one
under
of those
this
tester
cloud.
kits, wouldn't you? Just so that you can see out of curiosity.
I wonder where they are
like.
right now. Yeah, we in the garden route here at the coast. I think we've got the best air quality possibly in
Straight
the world.
off the sea.
Yeah,
You know?
we've got the best. Our lungs are just amazing.
If you go to the point of South Africa and you just look straight towards the sea, the next continent is Antarctica, and there ain't no smoke coming from there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But listen, you yesterday I saw a photo, air shot. I don't know if it was from a drone for Johannesburg, and you literally couldn't see the city. This is what it looked like this morning. I'm just showing Kaine a picture now.
No way.
It looks like
Is that
fog
Johannesburg?
or smoke. That's Joburg.
And that's pollution.
Yep.
It literally looks
And
like
it
fog rolled
smells.
in.
Yeah, and it smells really bad.
That's terrible.
I really feel for the people there.
No, because you're just forced to live in it. You have no choice.
So
That
if you're
is
in
crazy.
Gauteng, we're thinking of you.
Now, you use Checkers 60 and 60, right?
Yes.
I used it for the
Every
first time
week.
the other day.
Did they come on a scooter or in a car?
the scooter, and they
To open the gate for them often, because the gate doesn't trigger with the scooter to where they want to go out.
Yeah, so you can keep them here.
It's like I'm getting on my bike now. Please just open it in about 30 seconds. How was your experience?
I found it very good, but you know what's very interesting? With Checkers 60 and 60 coming out, what do you think Spar thinks? You know, what do you think these other stores are thinking?
I saw that Spar is entering that game now. I was wondering why they took so long, because Pick n Pay's got their own delivery service.
So there's some news in regards to how Spar's dealing with it,
Yeah.
and something very exciting that Woolies is doing that's down that angle.
Oh, I know what you're going to
So
talk about.
Spar's gearing up to take on Checkers 60 and 60. So we know Spar, they're the retail group, and they're gathering up to take on ShopRite's groups Checkers 60 and 60 and Pick n Pay ASAP in online grocery shopping in South Africa, with a rapid expansion of its own e-commerce platform. Spar said in its interim results for the last 6 months, which ended at the end of March, which was published on Wednesday this week, that its e-commerce offering called Spar to You will be expanded to many more stores countrywide in the coming months. So you can expect like a Checkers 60 and 60, but for Spar. And now what I'm interested in is, how am I going to choose where to buy from? Because I could have Pick n Pay delivered to me, I could have Spar delivered to me, I could have...
So you can just go on all the apps and compare the prices.
And compare. But now
Yeah.
here's the trick. What about the app that compares all prices at any given time? So you can see
Is
what
there an
the
app?
price for milk is here, and here.
Is there an app like that?
That will 100% come if it doesn't exist already. With
Well, let's do it.
with these solutions, you know.
We'll do it.
Please, someone else do it. I don't want to build that.
Is it a lot of
kind
work?
It's a lot of work, but it will
Okay.
be really usable. I would use that app. Would you not?
Absolutely, yeah, because it saves you a lot of work.
But the main reason why I would want an app like that is because in any event that competition is fierce, and if you create a solution like that, you're very much edging on the forcing those companies to compete against each other, because now the person with the cheapest items win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
So if that's what Spa's doing, what is Woolies doing?
Yeah.
Because Woolies always is a very interesting one for me. You've got Spa, you got Pick and Pay, you got Checkers. They all kind of target the same demographic. Then you have Woolies. They target healthy, sustainable, renewable,
rich,
free range,
rich people.
You know what I mean? They've got their target audience. They've got their niche.
Yes.
So Woolies is now about to roll out their electric fleet for online deliveries.
Awesome.
This is really crazy.
Cars or scooters?
Cars, panel vans. Electric panel vans here in South Africa. So Woolworths says it will be the first South African retailer to embark on an extensive rollout of electric panel vans to deliver customers' online purchases in Gauteng, Cape Town and Durban. So we're not there yet, but it's coming. According to the retailer, the fully electric vehicles, EVs, have no combustion engine and are powered through their batteries. After a successful 10-month trial, Woolworths is rolling out the service in partnership with Danish transport and logistics company DSV and Everelectric, a local startup that offers commercial EVs and a network of charging infrastructure. And this is really where it gets crazy. So the deployment is expected to result in up to 70% of the retailer's fleet being powered by electricity, while according to the figures from the trial, will have the potential to save 700,000 kilograms of tailpipe carbon emissions annually.
Wow, that's a lot.
And that's crazy when you think about it, because if just Woolworths' online delivery company can amass up to 700,000 kilograms of tailpipe carbon emissions, imagine what someone like Take-A-Lot's fleet will create.
So all these vehicles for Woolies, they're all electric?
All electric and all vans. Imagine having your food delivered in a panel van.
I hope they're sorted with the charging.
How big is the stuff I can buy? You know what I mean? Can I get like a couch?
Yeah, because my groceries, they come on a scooter.
And this is where we come back into that whole sustainability thing, right? Where some people were arguing, especially with Bitcoin mining and things like that, that it's negative because the power is derived through non-renewable means. So if you now switch out for your electric fleet, but you're still powering that fleet through traditional carbon electricity generation, burning coal, then you're not in essence solving any problem. You're just making the damage somewhere else. So to power the solar panel vans, electricity will be sourced from renewable sources, maximizing the opportunity to utilize solar at DSV and additional charging stations co-located at select Woolworths stores. So not only are they rolling out an electric fleet, but they're also ensuring that that fleet is powered by renewable energy, which is really cool for me because it really fits into that Woolworths niche.
Yeah.
As a business, you got to keep hitting that niche. If you go into Woolworths, everywhere you look, it's healthy food, free range food, sustainable, and then you get your food delivered in a sustainable van that's branded all about the sustainability. It's a very clever business move from them, from a marketing perspective, to maintain that niche.
You're right.
In their online e-commerce store.
Is the van black and white, like the logo?
It's kind of white, and it's got a little bit of like just a simple
it looks like
branding.
Vintage, eh?
Yeah, no,
it looks like
simple.
a van from the 80s, 80s, 90s.
It's just a white van. It's got a bit of black font on it as like vinyl.
Simple.
Got a little, that location thing that you see on a map. They got that on the doors.
Yeah.
And then they also have a little yellow banner on the side of the car that says this vehicle is electric.
Oh, really?
But I imagine that these panel vans are intended to do multiple deliveries at once, opposed to the traditional scooter, which can do one or two, maybe three deliveries before the space is gone, right? Or one big delivery, whereas this can probably operate quite a length of space. So I thought that was really, really cool. And it just shows how Woolies and Spar are like trying to keep up, because Checkers made a very good move in 2020 by rushing the development and the launch of their Checkers 60 and 60 solution to maximize that pandemic migration from retail store purchases to online store purchases. And now Spar and them are coming in a year later, because that's how long it takes to actually get something out there.
Yeah, well, good for them. I mean, in the end, the consumer is going to win.
Exactly.
We have more options available now, and we don't have to drive to the shop because we know how expensive petrol is. What have you got for us when we come back, Kaine?
So we're taking a look at some pretty cool stuff. Apple's next frontier is your car's dashboard. So Apple is making a move into car dashboards and specifically trying to work with car manufacturers to get into that niche. A Joburg data center campus is getting solar powered.
Oh,
right, so
nice.
That's really cool.
That's the way to go.
And Apple is taking a shot into the medication industry by creating a medication taking app to help you track and take medication. We're going to be taking a look at that.
Don't forget your pills, Grandma. Right, we'll be back soon. Here's Alesso with Katy Perry.
When I'm gone.
That's Alesso with Katy Perry and When I'm Gone. Welcome back to techPLUS. We're with you for another 40 minutes or so discussing this week's biggest tech stories. And if you just joined us, remember our WhatsApp line is 081 060 1640. If there's something you want us to talk about, we just can't come and fix your computer. As I always say, we don't do call outs. But let us know if there's something you want us to discuss and talk about. Kaine, what have you got for us next? I've got some DSTV news, but you go first.
Okay, so Vantage Data Centers, the US company building a sprawling data center campus in Midrand, Johannesburg, has signed a 20-year energy supply deal with Solar Africa. The agreement will allow Vantage to supplement the local grid that will power its under-construction campus, which is expected to open in July with renewable energy. The power will be supplied from Solar Africa's De Aar solar farm in the Northern Cape, which will be expanded, and the electricity will be wheeled through the national grid. Now, what wheeled through the grid means is a lot of the time the places that have the most sun, that can generate the most, have the most wind, that can really be used to generate solar energy through sun or wind. Usually that the location that is most feasible to generate the most energy isn't necessarily the location that needs the energy.
Yeah.
So most of the time energy will be generated at location A, and then they wheeled that from location A to location B, which feeds into the grid, and then to whoever is the purchaser of that electricity. And I really like to see companies that are pivoting into solar generation, because everybody needs to do that. I mean, we've had load shedding for like 15 years.
15 years,
It's crazy.
It's been very quiet this week.
Yeah, no, we got
not much happening. But there was a threat earlier this week saying, listen, we're on the brink of load shedding, could happen any second now. But nothing happened.
That's classical Eskom, like, okay, guys, we're perfectly fine. It's tragic. Load stage 4 is implemented in 1 hour. you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like a lady goes to the kitchen and switches on her toaster, and that's it. The grid had it. Load shedding.
So I thought that was really cool to cover, a South African company that's migrating internationally into South Africa, that's decided to build their tech campus with renewable energy in mind and prepared in advance. And also it's empowering, our local, Northern Cape solar generation facilities to keep doing what they're doing and keep building better and more efficient solar farms. So I thought that was something really interesting to look at. But I think what is very cool is Apple's next kind of pivot into the car industry. So we've heard whispers of Apple potentially developing a car. Okay, but we don't know too much about that yet. But we do know what Apple has in store for your car's dashboard. And this is specifically a strategy to get in bed with car manufacturers. Apple's not really interested in changing the way your dashboard works. They're interested in changing the way car manufacturers make dashboards, right? And for the end user. So Apple wants to power the dashboard of your next car, but it first must convince vehicle manufacturers that they will not end up surrendering future profits to the iPhone company. Apple on Monday gave a preview of a new generation of its CarPlay software that will migrate from its current home on the entertainment screen to power everything in front of the driver. Because as of right now, you can connect your iPhone to certain cars and be able to select a podcast to play or some general music stuff, but you can't control the climate of your car. You can't control
or the speed.
or the speed.
Imagine.
Let me just go on my iPhone quick and set the speed to 300 and just see what happens. You know what I mean? Just say I'm aware of the risk and just implement it.
Jeez.
But no, that's not necessarily what will happen, but there is some functionality that exists now. So they really want to take that functionality into a whole new world, whereby through your iPhone, you can control the technology in your car, whether it's raising the suspension, whether it's enabling sports mode, whether it's adjusting the climate control features or changing the movie that's playing in the back seats, or a number of methods. So the electric vehicle leader Tesla has proven the popularity of a large in-vehicle screen, as they have one of the largest, and fully integrated software that's consumers. Car makers are pushing to control the relationship with consumers in the most software-dominated car as a way to generate more profits. The current version of Apple CarPlay, available in 98% of new cars in the US, is fundamentally limited in its capabilities. So they're trying to reach into that next step, but you could potentially be able to have an Apple-based dashboard in your car if you own an Apple, and it really speaks to the Apple use case, right? You used to have your iPod, which would be for music. You have your phone, which is for everyday stuff. You have your MacBook, which is for your portable workstation. You have your iMac, which is for your fixed workstation. And now they're bridging into cars. They might even bridge into virtual reality. But I think we're seeing a lifestyle brand being made here, like beyond what is just for a smartphone, but for everything you have that might have to do with tech might just be integrated to some extent with Apple. And Apple's are very aware of their advantage. They have the ability to implement that kind of stuff, whereas Windows does not. The reason Windows doesn't have that ability, or even, Android doesn't have that ability, is because the Apple team, people that that regulate the apps that are uploaded to the App Store, the people that develop the in-house apps that Apple uses, is all part of Apple. The regulation team and everything is all there. Whereas on Android and Google, it's all third-party based. A lot of this stuff is created by third-party developers and things like that. So for them to make the same move would be extremely difficult, because every single proprietary ad developer would have to conform to certain rules and regulations just to access a certain niche function. So it's very interesting to see Apple taking such a move, and it might just make a really big difference. Did you just show me a picture of an Apple car? It's literally an apple and a guy sitting and driving it.
Listen, when you say Apple car, that's what I have. That's the mental picture I have. It's that cartoon. Do you remember that cartoon of the worm driving the apple?
I'm before my time. That's before my time.
I remember it so well, but I also can imagine on the bonnet of the Apple car, that Apple logo that you have at the back of your computer. That's probably going to be there, and it's going to probably illuminate at night.
Yes,
which would look really cool, actually.
I think it would look very cool.
Yeah.
But as I said, Apple's taking these other steps, and the reason I say it's turning into a lifestyle brand, because listen to what they have in store next. So Apple's medication feature is a step in the right direction. Experts don't know if reminder apps keep people healthy, but Apple is coming out with a medication-based app. So Apple isn't inventing anything new with its medication tracking feature for iPhone and Apple Watch, which the company announced as part of the Watch iOS 9 at WWDC 2022 this week. There are plenty of apps already on the market that give people alerts when they're supposed to take their medication. But trying to get people to take the drugs is regularly a major problem in healthcare, and around half of the people prescribed medications for chronic conditions don't take them as instructed, which often leads to people getting more sick, like not taking your antibiotics in time, So Apple is developing a software-based solution where you can add the medication that you need to take, and it will remind you when to take that medication. But it extends to some of the other Apple products as well, such as a smartwatch, whereby you can get notified by your smartwatch that you need to take medication at this current time, which you can either say I've taken or I've skipped, and it'll record that information for you. And I remember when my dad was taking a lot of medication, he was recording everything on like an A4 piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's pretty tenuous and difficult.
It is.
But now when you look at Apple developing a car dashboard as well, imagine being in your car's telling you to take your medication, your smartwatch is telling you to take your medication.
Yeah, but listen, that is quite a thing. I've also been on meds, like when you have quite a few things you have to take in the morning, and then you do it, but you're like deep in thought, and then an hour or so later you wonder, did I take that medication or not?
Yes.
And then you accidentally overdose. Or you miss a dose, which is it's also not good. So yeah, that's very, very helpful indeed. Yeah.
Now, what we're looking at next is quite funny, and it's like sort of like a little shot at Tesla. So Ford has empowered its vehicle owners in a really cool way. So they surprised their F-150 Lightning owners with an accessory that can recharge stranded Teslas. Okay. So if you bought one of these Ford trucks, in essence, you're able to pull up to a Tesla that's stranded, plug and take a cable from your truck to the Tesla and give the Tesla a bit of life again.
That's nice.
So that it can carry on its way. And it's all this good Samaritan thing.
It is. I like it.
Yeah, and it's also funny because a Tesla broken down, you're in your Ford saving the Tesla, it's like a whole marketing shot.
Yeah.
But you can also recharge other cars. So
is the Ford leaking oil? That's the question.
well, it's electric.
Okay, well, that's good.
So they surprised these F-150 Lightning owners with this technology. And basically what you can do is you can just be a good Samaritan with your Ford.
Yeah, hey buddy.
Help
Need
other
a charge.
cars, give guys some charge. Not so applicable in South Africa. You don't really want to be stopping on the side of the road helping people recharge their cars or you don't even want to be stranded on the side of the road in an electric vehicle,
Exactly.
That's like if you're there, you better hope there's an F-150 driving down the main road to save you.
What are the chances?
Exactly. So I thought that was really cool, and what a clever marketing technique.
It is.
Because
we need more
Tesla
of that.
uses a specific type of connector, a proprietary charging connector. So what Ford did is they used a third party to develop an adapter. And just by developing an adapter, they were able to take this marketing stunt, which everyone will talk about. Everyone will talk about the ability for Ford to recharge Teslas on the side of the road. Before Tesla's Cybertruck came out. It's a pretty good marketing technique. And really cool tech. A car is fast charging a car. Like we had that with phones where you could charge another phone with your phone, but charging another car with a car is a big feat.
But imagine you now helping somebody out and you're charging their car and then they drive off. Thank you, bye. They're gone, and now you start your Ford, electric Ford, and now your Ford is flat.
You have to call your friend who's also a Ford owner to come help you because you've been a good Samaritan 5 times today and you're out of battery.
Or just take down the number of the Tesla guy and say, hey, come back, give me some more. And then, oh my gosh, that can actually turn into a real fiasco. Depends on where you're stranded.
For sure.
But did you know MultiChoice released their financial 2022 financial year results?
Does it look good or does it look
today?
Not so good?
Well, there's been growth. They grew its DSTV pay TV subscribers for the financial year that ended the 31st of March 2022 by just over 900,000 subscribers. Although it keeps shedding its most valuable top-end DSTV Premium and DSTV Compact Plus subscribers. I also saw in the news this week that they've got competition, people wanting that sport rights that they have exclusively with SuperSport. And we all know what's going to happen if they lose that exclusivity to the sport, Then people have a reason to finally cancel DSTV because, as we said before, a lot of people have DSTV only to watch the sport. And when that exclusivity is gone and somebody else is offering it to you for cheaper than 1,000 Rand a month, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, but also, you mentioned that a large volume of their top-end subscribers have
premium
jumped out.
Mm-hmm.
But they're specifically advocating these 900,000 additional subscribers that they've achieved. But obviously in the lower tier packages. Now, my question is, how many of those people downgraded from a top tier subscription?
Exactly.
The investor in me is like a little bit worried. I'm like, ooh, that's it's a bit too
good thing you mentioned it now, because it actually says here MultiChoice's growth came, as you said, from the lower DSTV packages for the mass market.
And being a marketer at heart as well, you can also, there's always a particular amount of finesse to turn something negative into something positive. So to say, we've gained 900,000 subscribers, but we're still losing a few of our top end guys, then saying 900,000 people or maybe 500,000 people downgraded their subscription.
It's all in the way you say it, but they're spinning it in a positive way here. You can see that. Also, paying subscribers for Showmax, that's MultiChoice's video on demand streaming service, that went up by a whopping 68% year on year. So it just shows a lot of people switching to streaming.
I don't think I'll be renewing my Disney Plus. I don't think I'll be doing it.
Why?
Because the streaming quality is horrific.
Oh no, you're not happy.
The buffering and you know what I mean.
I'm very happy with my DSTV. With my Disney Plus. I'm very happy. I have these, when you're feeling down or sick, you just watch the Golden Girls.
That's because you have TCS Wi-Fi.
Yes, that's right. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's to do with the ISPs.
I don't know, hey. I've noticed some weird stuff with fiber where certain downstreams of data, just meaning regular downloads from different places, sometimes are affected negatively. But really, the pure amount of buffering that I experience on Disney Plus.
But we're in the same area.
And a friend of mine got a Disney Plus subscription.
Yeah.
He can't get onto the website. It says an unexpected error has occurred, and their support team doesn't know what's happening. They don't know what's wrong.
It's a Jason again.
No, not Jason this time. This time it's someone else. Someone else is involved.
Yeah, or JSON.
Yeah, no. So you can't get in.
That's interesting. And also my cousin, she said to me that, because we share a DSTV. Stop saying DSTV. Stop it, Eon. We're sharing a Disney Plus account, and she said to me that she signs in on, is it a web browser or something, and then she comes back later to watch some more, and then signed out. And then we have to keep signing her back in again. So it's like the app, for me, the app remembers that I was logged in, so I stay logged in. But sometimes on the website or on other browsers, it just logs itself out, and then that person needs to contact the main account holder again to get that code to put it back.
I think that might either be a technical issue.
I think that's a bug,
or it's
a
very subtle process of stopping account sharing.
Hey, you're not in the same house. We know it.
See, you're part of the problem.
Kaine, that's a very good point. I didn't think of it that way, actually. It could be, hey?
They're trying to make it very difficult without having to enforce something.
Yeah, they don't say it. Could be, because maybe they see there's a difference in the IP.
Yeah, they will see. They will know.
That's totally,
They will know.
You can
100%.
do that, yeah.
There's technology for that
Kaine,
easily.
That's very interesting. I saw on Netflix, they're also trying to clamp down on password sharing, but nothing solid's really happening right now.
It's very difficult to enforce.
No, they
telling someone they must pay double because they shared a password they bought.
No, then they say screw you.
It doesn't make sense.
No, man.
It's like if I watch Netflix for an hour and send my password to another person for them to watch for the next hour, but I don't watch, is there a problem?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. You don't even have to give it any thought.
That's money, huh? It's like really like trying to turn your $1 billion earnings into 1.5 billion in as simple way as possible.
I think there's some desperation on Netflix's part, because of the losses they've had recently.
I just don't see a future where you will have your own Netflix account, he will have his own Netflix account, I'll have my own, my mom will have her own, my brother will have. It doesn't make sense.
No.
Like it doesn't.
Just the different profiles, but all on the same account.
It's like everyone going and buying a TV for themselves. Now you have 5 TVs in your lounge, everyone watching their own thing on their own Netflix subscription.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't make sense.
It's pointless, man. What have you got for us when we come back?
When we come back from the break, we are taking a look at eBay's new feature to be able to trade cards, and trading cards. They actually have a vault, a physical location where these cards are vetted and approved. PayPal has now opened up the ability to transfer cryptocurrency out of PayPal to other places, which we'll talk about in a second, and why that's so important as opposed to what they had before. We have an investor suing the Winklevoss twins over the Gemini hack, which is their cryptocurrency exchange. And we're taking a look at the HoloLens, which is being developed by Microsoft, which has had their lead developer just jump out of the project now as well.
Jeez, okay, when we come back. But anyway, Susan is saying that she's also not too impressed. She's sharing your sentiments, Kaine. She says the sound is glitching, and the sound is disappearing at times, and it freezes as well. You guys are just very unlucky.
I think it's because you're getting the good quality data.
Yes.
I'm picking up the scraps, because I connected second.
Because, they always, I think, what do you call it, these servers that are all across the world, but then you connect to the nearest one, and you bounce from the one server to the other one. I always knew what they call it, but now I can't remember. I've got brain fog again.
I just stick with the fact that if I have 100 megasecond internet, I shouldn't have buffering.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem, man.
And not every day. It's been every day for a month. Like if I watch a show, I have to 30 minutes before play the show, and then let it load fully so that it has that there so it doesn't buffer and interrupt the viewing experience. But then
that's the worst.
I noticed yesterday I came up with this great idea, watch it in advance, like let it play a bit and then bring it back to the beginning and watch it from the start.
No.
When you take a video from playing to halfway and you move it back to the beginning, it starts loading the whole thing again.
Yeah,
from this, and I was like, that's what can you do?
But I think it's probably just teething problems, or a server thing.
It's scalability.
The way you're bouncing from one server to the other, and maybe it's not maybe there's overload on the server.
I think it is.
Because there's a lot of people who signed up at the same time, at once.
Yeah, and there's good shows on there, and it's everybody's
brilliant.
Watching.
I love it, man. And also, if you pay for a year, you get, if you pay for 12 months, you get, you get 2 months free, I think.
That's
yes, you do. Yeah.
Savings. You're going to have it.
Yeah.
Some music break.
Yes. Callum Scott is coming to South Africa later this year. Oh man, this is such a brilliant artist, British artist, Callum Scott. I think it could be Scottish. Anyway, English artist Callum Scott coming to South Africa in November. It's going to be in Kirstenbosch Gardens in Cape Town. Brilliant artist. I love him. I love all his songs. There he was with Lost Frequencies and Where Are You Now. I saw you jamming to the song, Kaine.
Yeah, that's a banger.
It's a banger.
That's a banger. That's a good song.
Cool. What have you got for us next?
Okay, so eBay has just put together a 31,000 square foot facility called the eBay Vault, which is open now to house graded trading cards that are valued over and above $750, and in the future, physical collectibles of all kind. So this is like eBay's method of creating a reseller marketplace for tradable cards, which has become exceptionally popular over the years as cards that came out many years ago have become vintage and really pristine collectible cards. So this is eBay's solution to this, and I think the functionality that they're bringing to the table outside of being able to trade your trading cards through eBay is the following. So there's two things. One, there's validating services. So cards that are listed on eBay need to be validated and authenticated by one of two organizations that are accredited, like PSA and Sports Card, the Sports Card Corporation. And in essence, once a trading card purchase happens, the buyer can have the trading card sent to the eBay Vault, where it will not only be stored but also be available to resell without shipping the asset around. The benefit of this, eBay's VP of Collectibles states, is that it'll let collectors streamline and securely store their portfolio of assets and buy/sell in an instant as card values rise and fall in real time. So collectible trading cards, are a little bit akin to NFTs, where you have a digital asset that you can buy and sell. But the thing that's different between the two is one's physical and one's digital. So the one you can buy in 1 second, it can go up in price, and you can sell it in 1 second. But a trading card, traditionally, you would buy it 2 to 3 days for it to get to your door. You would sell it 2 to 3 days to get to the end buyer. And prices fluctuate just like in NFTs. So what eBay has developed is a streamlined service whereby cards can be traded very quickly in real time in a matter of seconds without having the ownership of the card move from A to B. So they've created a physical, a tradable marketplace of physical assets that can be bought and sold in seconds that don't have to move. It's like the transition of commodities. You would buy 1,000 barrels of oil. Where the hell are you going to keep it? Because it's coming. You have a warehouse, you have something.
I hope so.
And being able to streamline that service so that it can compete with NFT traders and things like that and be as fast as trading a digital asset is a very clever move on eBay's part. And all these cards and everything are housed in this 31,000 square foot facility. And all the trading happens and is automated, and all the cards in there are accredited and definitely real cards, and they're all over $750. So you can live anywhere in the world and trade cards that you don't have at your home destination, and you can trade them and make money on them. It's very clever from a place that just used to sell secondhand goods.
Yeah, very.
That's like real top-notch Forex kind of move into the market. And I just thought that is a great illustration of tech combining with physical in order to create something like not before that exists.
Brilliant.
So that's the one thing. And then PayPal. This was a little pet peeve that I had a while ago. PayPal came out and announced that you can now buy and sell cryptocurrencies on PayPal. But there was a catch, and it was actually very similar to Nutella. And there's some other solutions similar to Nutella. It's like a payment provider.
Did you just say Nutella?
Not Nutella, the chocolate spread.
I'm seeing the chocolate spread.
Nutella, the payment service
okay,
provider.
I didn't even know. Okay, sorry.
They also released that you can now buy and sell cryptocurrency on their platform, but there was a catch. Just like eToro, if you go to these platforms and you buy cryptocurrency, you can buy it and you can see it in your account, but you can't move it outside of PayPal. You can't move it outside of Nutella. You can't put it in your hardware wallet. You can't put it in your private wallet. All you can do is sell it on PayPal and then take the rands or the money that was there from the sale and then move that money. So there was no way to purchase a cryptocurrency and use that cryptocurrency. So it was like a trading platform, if anything. You don't really own the asset. And now PayPal has just announced that they have added the functionality to move cryptocurrency out of PayPal. And it's a big move for them because one of the things that made someone like Local Bitcoin so successful, Local Bitcoins is a peer-to-peer digital asset exchange, meaning I can go onto Local Bitcoin, say I want to buy X amount of Bitcoin, and then, or I'm selling X amount of Bitcoin, and someone can come onto the platform, see that I'm selling it, send me the money via FMB, and then I can release that crypto to them. And one of the most popular ways to purchase cryptocurrency a few years ago was using PayPal. So PayPal has in essence stopped people from being able to exit the ecosystem and use their money for things that are meant to be, and they can regulate it inside of their own system. And they did that by implementing a BIT license called a BIT license, and it was introduced by America for businesses to be able to actually offer a service where cryptocurrencies can be traded. And they had like the partial license, and only 2 years later were they approved for the primary license. And I think it's a very important step because even someone as big as PayPal struggles to move and navigate through regulation and all that kind of stuff. And just because a product doesn't necessarily offer a piece of a particular function doesn't mean that they're not able to. Oftentimes it means that they're not legally allowed to. And that fight cannot be as quick as your fastest developer.
Yeah.
That fight is as slow as the slowest regulator. And it's quite an interesting problem, because I'm sure PayPal would have wanted to launch 2 years ago and make a big impact instead of all the scrutiny they got from that initial functionality. But nonetheless, they have now moved away from that, and you can buy cryptocurrency on PayPal and move it out of PayPal. I'm happy. That was my biggest problem with it. It was like fake. It was fake. It wasn't real. And to see that happen was really, really cool. Some cool movement in that space. And in crypto, now that we're talking about crypto, let's talk about the Winklevoss twins.
Just tell us again, who's the Winklevoss?
You don't know who the Winklevoss twins are?
No, for the listeners.
Okay. So
maybe they don't know.
So the Winklevoss twins are known in crypto for starting Gemini. But Tyler Winklevoss is an American investor and founder of Winklevoss Capital Management and Gemini cryptocurrency trading platform. And he was originally an Olympic rower. Winklevoss co-founded Harvard Connection along with his brother Cameron Winklevoss and a Harvard classmate of theirs as well. So that's who the Winklevoss twins, and they're very well known in the tech space. They've had some stuff that they're very popular for, but now the scrutiny and the spotlight is really on them for a vulnerability that happened on the Gemini cryptocurrency trading platform, and an investor is actually suing them for this problem. And to break down the whole argument, really, what is the argument here is that Gemini, the cryptocurrency exchange, was more interested in its ability to onboard new users than how much it focused on the security of its system. So they implemented a system a few years back to better onboard new users and make that process more streamlined, and in so doing that created a vulnerability that hackers leveraged in order to basically drain $36 million out of the exchange. And the Gemini platform specifically markets this edge of security technology, right? This next generation of security, this next generation of data and asset protection. And they suffered that loss. So one of the initial investors has turned around and sued them, saying that that the two are not lining up. Left hand doesn't know what right hand's doing. This is your fault for this hack, and we're suing you. And that's really interesting because you don't really think about that process. I'm sure if you were two normal people and you started a cryptocurrency exchange, you don't think about what happens when that thing is hacked. You don't think about how much you might be sued for. And in this case, they're in trouble. They're in the spotlight.
When you just mentioned Winklevoss twins, I was like, isn't it the Facebook twins? And it is. I just checked.
Yeah, that movie, The Social Network.
Yes. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss
sued Mark Zuckerberg.
Often remembered for suing Zuckerberg, claiming the Facebook founders stole their idea for the social network platform when the trio attended Harvard. And then they won a $65 million settlement from that lawsuit. I thought it...
And they made a movie about it.
It rang a bell. Yeah, it rang a bell. When you say Winklevoss, because it's quite a peculiar surname.
I think it would be pretty funny if Gemini was owned by someone else and the Winklevoss twins were suing them for stealing their idea. It happens a lot.
But we saw that in that movie, The Social Network.
Which is a great movie.
Brilliant.
Great movie.
Brilliant. And a true story, man.
And a good play at the neutral side. It wasn't biased.
Yeah, you're right. It was very neutral, yeah.
I
felt sorry for the twins, though.
You do end at like, you guys got wrecked.
You
made 100 million and Facebook made billions.
Mark ran away with a pie and left them with one small piece.
And it's like a constant insult because Facebook is doing so much now with Meta. It
must be difficult for them.
It's a hardship.
It must be. It's bad for the ego.
Sore topic.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Now we're taking a look at something that's also pretty interesting. So HoloLens the future of HoloLens is in doubt. So what is HoloLens? Well, Microsoft HoloLens, known under development as Project Baraboo, are a pair of mixed reality smart glasses developed and manufactured by Microsoft, and HoloLens was the first head-mounted display running the Windows mixed reality platform under the Windows 10 computing operating system. So it's in essence Microsoft's attempt to penetrate the virtual reality market. But it's not Microsoft's only angle. They're also working for the US government to develop augmented reality glasses to be deployed in the field, and their project's looking a bit worrisome now, as the executive in charge of Microsoft's HoloLens goggles is leaving the company, putting the future of its augmented reality project in question. Alex Kipman, who has been with Redmond, Washington-based software firm since 2001, was accused of inappropriate behavior towards female employees at Microsoft by current and former workers in an inside report in late May. He had been the public face of the HoloLens initiative, and his departure comes at a sensitive time for the project as Microsoft is deciding on whether to continue developing its own AR hardware, according to two people familiar with the matter. HoloLens hardware will now be overseen by Panos Panay, who heads up Microsoft's Surface Computer division, while Jeff Taper, a corporate vice president managing areas like the Teams collaboration product, will take over the software part of the group, the people said. Microsoft Cloud Chief Scott detailed the changes on Tuesday in a memo sent to executive staff, according to the people who declined to be named because the company isn't publicly discussing the decision. So Microsoft's VR headset is in a bit of trouble, and it's kind of disappointing. It's disappointing because the guy who had to leave did some pretty bad stuff, and he should probably leave. But ultimately, lack of competition in the virtual reality headset space is going to keep this biggest problem, which is the hardship of getting people to try out VR, which is the heavy price aspect, right? If it costs you 15,000 Rand to get into virtual reality, and Facebook is trying to create a metaverse, it means that they have to have every single person that fits into that demographic have 15,000 Rand to buy a headset just to access the metaverse, not to mention what's sold within the metaverse for it to make a profit. It's a big problem. It needs competition, and now we're currently in a bit of a lack of competition with potentially Microsoft pulling out. So hopefully we have some fresh blood come into the space and really lower that cost per entry down. Otherwise, no one's going to be operating on VR except very wealthy people.
Yeah.
And NASA has shared pictures of Hell, a planet that never stops burning. So listen, this is crazy. This is crazy. So NASA is studying planet 55 Cancri E, which is so close to its star that its clouds rain lava and its atmosphere may vaporize daily.
Sounds like hell.
Okay, so the NASA's James Webb Space Telescope is expected to give us an image of Hell. The super Earth planet known as 55 Cancri E is so close to its stars that it bears bears an eerie resemblance to descriptions of Christianity's hell. That's what NASA went on to say, and it really is. I mean,
It is.
And when you really look at how extreme the environments in some planets are, I mean, there's planets where there's a lot of I forgot the raw material for glass, what it's called now. Do you know the name?
No, not with my brain fog at the moment.
It's sand. I
can't
can't
help
remember
you.
it, but in essence, sand is what melts, evaporates into the atmosphere, and glass
yes, we spoke about
rains
that
down.
before. That's
yes.
right. Yeah.
So it's so hot that the sand on that planet melts and evaporates and condensates just like normal rain. And that's like an extremist example. And there are planets out there that exist with these extremely unbewildering conditions. There's planets that have winds that would just rip the earth apart, so you can't even get down. And I thought it was really cool that we get to see something because the James Webb Telescope is all about recapturing information in a way that is unprecedented for this time. And to be able to look at a planet with such severe conditions and be able to pull some information from that, or even just have an awe moment, like, oh wow, how interesting. I think that's really cool, and it's a showcase of how technology has helped us to redefine the way we explore space.
Yeah, and now we finally know where hell is. So don't look down, you actually have to look up. Oh man, and that's about it for this week. I just want to share some two memes that I saw this week with you. There's this guy who stands there and he's all depressed, and it says, sigh, nobody ever listens to me. And then behind him there's the Google logo and then Facebook logo, and then it says Google ads and Facebook ads, we do. Which is so true. Then there's another one, operating systems, Apple, for this you need money. Then the penguin, what's it, Linux?
Yes.
It says, for this you need skills. And then the Windows logo, for this you need patience. How true is that, eh? These updates, these constant updates and things, it's just unnecessary, this Windows thing, eh? It's just overrated, eh?
I agree.
If you want to use Windows, you need patience. Windows taught me patience.
I'm just surprised how much Windows costs. Like if you're building a PC, it's like 1,800 Rand.
For the latest Windows?
For the latest Windows.
Oh, wow. Well, Bill Gates taught me patience with his Windows.
Taught you patience?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was taught or forced.
Forced,
like you're either okay with it or you don't have a computer because you've chucked it.
Tempting. Kaine, thank you so much. What an interesting show today. Very interesting topics that we spoke about. And next week, same time, same place. Enjoy what's left of your week, and may it be a load-shedding free one.
Absolutely. Let's not jinx it, but definitely looking forward to next week's show. Thanks to all of our listeners for listening in, and we'll check you next week.
Cheers, man.
Bye-bye.